All right. Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Zach Battin here for Ohio News and Weather. We're back with forecast videos, hopefully daily. We'll see how things go, but we definitely wanted to get one out to you this morning. We've got a little bit of active weather here for your particularly Wednesday evening and into early Thursday morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at our headlines for your day today. We'll be dry most of the day. It'll be cool, roughly average temperatures, so nothing too out of the ordinary there. Late this afternoon, precipitation does begin to move in from the south. So, those of you southwest Ohio, near the river in particular, will see things first. As precipitation spreads to the north, we'll see a mix of rain and freezing rain, maybe a little bit of sleet in some areas, but for the most part, we're looking at just rain and or freezing rain, depending on where you are. Let's go ahead and take a look at our model for the day on Wednesday, starting off here at 7 a.m. You see, it's trying to show a little bit of, a few showers kind of spread around, but we should be dry pretty much most of the first half of the day on Wednesday. So we move through the morning. You see a little bit more precipitation showing up there. I think we're still dry. But as we get into really after 2 o'clock and into 3, 4 or so, that rain and a little bit of freezing rain, which is the pink there, starts to move in from southwest kind of to northeast. I think this particular model, it does show, especially south of I-70, a little bit more freezing rain than I think we're actually going to see. Temperatures look like they're going to be too warm to really have freezing rain, especially any that's going to cause any issues below I-70. Really, especially once you get to about Xenia or so, I don't really expect to see too many issues, as I think will just be too warm, and it will be falling as mostly just rain. Maybe a little bit of sleet mixes in kind of that little corridor there, but I do think for the most part, we just have rain or freezing rain. Once you go north of I-70, that's kind of where we start to see, a good bit of freezing rain. Temperatures will be cooler. It will be cooler during the day on Wednesday, so the ground will also be a little bit cooler. So I think that's where we're going to see some of our accumulation. Things kind of start to cause problems, especially late Wednesday night after the sun goes down and into Thursday morning. Now, it's a little hard to tell here, but temperatures Wednesday night actually climb. So most of us will actually be a little bit warmer Thursday morning than when you go to bed Wednesday night. Now, that's not totally the case the farther north you go, especially once you get into northwest Ohio, kind of near and north of US 6, kind of near the Bowling Green area. Those temperatures are going to stay cooler for a little bit longer. And that's why we kind of anticipate some of that freezing rain to cause more issues up here in northwest Ohio, simply because it's going to be cooler. We're not going to have to really worry about rain mixing in. Ground's going to be colder, so that freezing rain will accumulate a little bit faster as opposed to southern Ohio, where you've kind of really got that freezing rain mix going on. A couple degrees warmer or colder in any location kind of changes this whole scenario. So trying to forecast this stuff is not easy and it is not for the faint of heart, but we're doing our best. So again, we go through late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Eventually, the precipitation kind of moves out, especially early Thursday morning, likely before sunrise or near sunrise in most areas. But especially, again, northwest Ohio in particular, the ground is going to be colder, a little bit longer there. Roads are going to be cooler, a little bit longer. It's going to take longer for us to warm above freezing. So we'll likely see some issues hanging around there Thursday morning. By the time we get to mid-morning Thursday and into late morning, everyone has kind of climbed above freezing at that point. So conditions should start to improve. And realistically, about the same way the precipitation moves in from south to north, conditions will improve from south to north as well. So overall, we're not looking at too much in the way of issues other than some travel difficulties, especially Wednesday night into Thursday morning. As you can see, most of that heavier accumulation was going to be north of I-70. So aside from some travel difficulties and probably some small limbs down, and that kind of stuff, especially where you get the higher totals, you usually don't start to see, large limbs, power outages, that kind of stuff, until you reach a quarter inch of, ice accumulation. And while that's possible in some very isolated areas, it doesn't look likely at this time. So it's not something we're too concerned about at the moment. And again, kind of once you get near and south of I-70, uh, you're a glaze at best in most areas. Again, couple degrees cooler, we see some more issues. A couple degrees warmer, you don't even get a glaze and you're just rain the whole time. So it's definitely going to be kind of something to watch as we see the storm system approach and kind of see where things are setting up. If we're running a little cooler, running a little warmer, it'll be just kind of a wait and see situation. But based on our model data and things we're looking at here, this is kind of what our team is going with for now. Of course, stay tuned to our Facebook website, that kind of stuff, for our updated forecasts, so you can kind of see any changes that we might make between the time you watch this video and the time kind of things start to move in. So taking a look at your high temperatures for the day today, we do have temperatures, mid to upper 30s and lower 40s near the river, particularly southeast Ohio. As farther north you go, the cooler it gets. Pretty standard for this time of year. These setups aren't uncommon. We're finally getting into a little bit more of an active pattern for the month of February. So definitely something that we're kind of keeping an eye on, as we'll probably have some more systems to talk about sooner rather than later. But for now, again, south of I-70, mainly rain, maybe, a glaze of ice. Once you get to the river, you're pretty much looking at all rain. And it's not out of the question that the farther south you are, you may hear a rumble of thunder here and there. It's a low chance, but it's not impossible. So that's something we're keeping an eye on as well. And again, farther north you go, cooler you get, and that's where you're going to start to run in that freezing rain later on in the evening. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Of course, we'll be back hopefully daily with your forecast, other fun tidbits, that kind of stuff, especially slower times where the weather is just kind of doing its thing. Apologies if you can hear my dog just having a great time in the background. She's my little buddy, just doing her thing. So for Ohio News and Weather, I am meteorologist Zach Battin. Stay tuned to our Facebook, our Twitter, our website, of course, YouTube, all the things for the latest updates, and I will see everyone tomorrow.